Hey, people. Okay, we got to discuss this. Will the UFC ever allow transgender participants to fight? Transgender athletes. Will they? I remember not too long ago, Dana White said that he would never allow women to compete in the UFC. And then we get Ronda Rousey. You know, now I don't know how Ronda convinced Dana to get the women's division started, but nevertheless, here we are. Now, quote from Joe Rogan: Cyborg will be the first fighter in history to make weight by cutting off their penis. End quote. Now, Chris Cyborg, one of my favorite fighters ever, she's addressed the issue also. This type of treatment, these type of statements are part of the reason why she never wanted to be in the UFC longer than she had to be. She was never happy with her employers, or her co-workers, or either independent contractors, her contractees. She was never happy with the treatment that she was personally getting. And again, her biggest issue that she's ever had in her career was just finding an opponent who's willing to step in there with her. That's Cyborg's biggest problem she's ever had, is actually finding someone who's willing to fight her. So, here we are today. We got Elena McLaughlin. I don't know the organization off the top of my head. I do not know the particular promotion that she just fought in recently, but a transgender who was male and switched over to female. I don't know how that works or whatever, but we have a born male who has did the hormonal replacement or whatever that is into the female side of things, and has been sanctioned to fight against real women. Now, this means that we're stepping toward that direction. Okay? Right now, the smaller promotions are trying it out. But eventually, the bigger promotions are going to have to answer to this. And when I mean eventually, I mean within the next few years. Okay? We're going to see it looks like we're going to start seeing a slow amount of transgender athletes being incorporated into mixed martial arts. We have already had Fallon Fox, who Elena McLaughlin said she was inspired and influenced by. Okay? Now, if you're not familiar with Fallon Fox, she actually, Fallon Fox, born a man, transitions to female, gets into MMA, has a couple fights, and she actually cracked a woman's skull in the octagon. I believe that was her last fight. And now Elena McLaughlin, who is a former special ops Marine, okay, has got into women's MMA. Now, if you watch the fight, the last name of the fighter Elena McLaughlin was going against is Provost. I can't remember her first name right now, but Provost was winning that fight by a large margin. And it just seemed like her punches weren't strong enough. If she would have been punching an actual woman, probably would have ended that fight a lot sooner, and it would have been a much different result. A different victor, in fact. But how far are we away from women having to go against transgenders in the UFC?